reason you guys were called into question is because of your connection to violent demonstrations. So were you provided with any evidence or explained like how they thought you were connected to those demonstrations?
They just asked us a question in order to assess our possible involvement in the worker demonstrations. So we have explained to them that even though we support the workers' cause, we have never been involved in any act of violence. We have never instigated, pushed workers to use violence. We have provided a moral and intellectual support to workers. For instance, we have justified the demand of workers. We have proved that the demand for a minimum wage of $160 a month is a legitimate demand, is doable, it's a fair demand, therefore it should be responded positively, that the government and the factory managers should give workers this monthly minimum wage of 160. This is intellectual support in the form of a press article published to the knowledge of everybody. So there is nothing illegal and nothing to do with violence. Any other question?
Are you worried that charges may still be laid against you following today's questioning? Is that still hanging over your head?
The problem is a political one. As long as there is no political solution yet, there will be a judicial issue pending. But when there is a political solution, then the judicial issue will disappear.
On that point of a political solution, aside from the working groups of the two parties, which I believe Mr. Sokai just mentioned, have the party leaders of the CNRP met directly with any other envoy of the government to discuss negotiations or its demands?
Yes, at the level of working group, we have a representative who has met several times with a representative from the CPP. So we have exchanged documents, proposals, but there is no agreement in view. Nothing. It's just testing the waters, testing the other side.
But that's not at the senior level involving yourself and Mr. Sokai at the working group?
Not at the top level. Working group is, we cannot make any decision.
And just one more thing. If you were to put those demands, when negotiations finally come, will the wage issue for the garment workers be something that you would want on the table?
As Khmernewstime has just said, the ball is in the court of the CPP, and the CPP is very busy recently because they have to answer questions from the international community, so from the World Trade Unions, labor organizations all over the world. People are shocked by the recent acts of violence against the workers. So the CPP has a lot to deal with when they feel appropriate, timely to come back to us. This remains to be seen. Any other question? Otherwise,
organize more rallies?
Yes, definitely. You cannot ban rallies forever. You cannot suspend fundamental freedoms forever. Currently, we are facing a state of emergency, even though the CPP does not call it like that, but it is a de facto state of emergency. By definition, a state of emergency cannot last forever. It has to be lifted, and liberties must be restored. And as soon as liberties are restored, we will organize new rallies. And as long as there are demands, legitimate demands from the people who are not met, then we have to protest and to express our opinion in the street.
Can I just follow up? You say as soon as liberties are restored, we'll organize rallies?
Yes.
Does that mean you will not organize rallies in defiance of the ban?
Yes, but we are pushing, and not only us. I think all friends of Cambodia are pushing for the liberties, the fundamental freedoms as enshrined in the Constitution to be re-established, to be restored.
Can you just explain why you guys don't want to divide them?
Because we want to avoid trap whereby the CPP would find a pretext to use violence against us. We think that it is more effective to push, and it will be many people, many countries, the whole world will push for the restoration of liberties. So why use only our folks, only use our folks? If the whole world is pushing for the restoration of liberties, let the whole world push and help Cambodia enjoy the freedoms that the people are entitled. And immediately afterward, as long as our demands are not met, then we will organize more rallies. Because we don't consider the National Assembly, the current Assembly, as a legitimate one, as a real one. Actually, Cambodia has no assembly. The real assembly, the real parliament is in the street.